You've made it to Chiro Hustle Live. Sit back and learn from the greatest influencers in the profession. This episode is brought to you by Clothes for Chiro, Chiro Sushi, Barbara Eaton's 56-day chiropractic boot camp, California Jam, Move Well University, the Black Diamond Club, Pure Chiro Notes, the Chiro Dex app, Dr. Alok Trivedi, Chiro Spark, Chirogram, Chiropractic Wealth Management, 8 Weeks to Wellness, Integrative Freedom, and Element Mattresses. Let's hustle. Today, Jim Chester coming to you from Grand Junction in the Grand Valley of Colorado, and you're in sunny San Diego. You say it's hot out there?
Yes, it's so warm, but I can't complain. I love San Diego.
Well, I think that you are a very interesting interview today because you're interested in chiropractic and you're going to be going to school somewhere in the near future. So we're going to talk all about those topics. Okay. But before we get too far into this, I just wanted to throw a shout out for our sponsor of this episode today, and that's Dr. Alok Trivedi with Align Performance Institute. And Dr. Alok is somebody that helps people with their money and mindset and relationships, with both of those relationships with people and their money. So that's really cool. And he can help you with your marketing. So Janet, let's talk about you. First things first, I would like to do is just say thank you for being on the episode of Chiro Hustle live stream, Student Edition.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited. Very honored.
And I think that you've been a huge advocate of what we've been doing and always interacting with us. So I definitely appreciate that. And that's one of the reasons that we reached out to you and another DC to be, Lisa Tacky over in the Netherlands. And I think that we're actually going to start doing something really cool if people don't like bite my style. But I'm going to start interviewing students from all around the world at different schools.
I like that.
And bringing the chiropractic profession more, more unified than separated. And I think that if we start doing interviews with people from around the world, people will realize that chiropractic is actually a global profession. Mm-hmm. And I know that a couple months ago, we were talking about where you might be going to school, and let's not jump into that quite yet. But I know that you said that you're even considering going over to New Zealand.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So first things first, why chiropractic?
So I feel like chiropractic's always been, I didn't grow up in a chiropractic office. I didn't actually have adjustments growing up, but I feel like events that have happened in my life that have been kind of tragic, but beautiful events too, that have shaped who I am and where I am today. I feel like chiropractic's always been there. And when I was in San Diego, I met a chiropractor, and he was on my volleyball team, and we got to talking about chiropractic. And of course, like we all know, a huge percentage of the population thinks chiropractic is, neck and back pain, and they don't really know like the big power of chiropractic in the body, the whole innate side of the story. So I was actually really blown away when he told me his story, which was incredible, and I can't wait for him to express his story in the future. His name's Dr. Snyder in San Diego, but it just blew my mind because I had no idea the power of the body. And from there, I was very low-key about chiropractic because I wasn't sure if this is do I really want to make a career change? I was like stressed out, a little self-conscious about everything, but I was always so attracted to the power of the body. So I, snuck my way through Cal Jam, and then I snuck away to Vegas by myself. I went to Chiro Sushi, and I just thought, this is it. There's no reason why I shouldn't be a chiropractor. What you guys do and what the body does afterwards is just so beautiful that I feel like this is a very beautiful profession. This is a massive, I don't want to say secret, but I want us to share the power of the body and invite people to know the life that they can live and how they can feel. And so I want to be a part of that because I think it's beautiful. And I'm under chiropractic care, and I see what it does to me and how it makes me feel. And I want to go chiropractic full throttle. So
that's really cool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I thank you for sharing like your why behind why you decided that chiropractic is a good fit for you. And then, honestly, chiropractic is something that people generally don't understand how valuable it is until they need the care. And when people do come into a crisis mode, like you said, you didn't grow up getting adjusted, and I didn't either. I didn't start until I was like 16. And when people start getting adjusted, they realize that it does something profound. It unlocks the tension within the dural sheath of the spine. It unlocks the body's ability to balance itself out and to start feeling that big word homeostasis, which is the balance of health. And most people really don't really understand how chiropractic can actually make a profound impact on them to trade their hard-earned dollars or their insurance money for care. So when you say, how old were you when you started care?
No, actually 2 years ago. So I was 27 years old.
Okay.
Well,
It,
20, yeah, 26, 27.
okay, so you're relatively new to the chiropractic industry.
I used to see a chiropractor back in the day because my profession right now is in the dental field. So it's important for me actually to see a chiropractor. So I would see a chiropractor on and off because of discomfort that I had, of course, right? But I never really stuck to it. But then again, I never really knew the philosophy behind chiropractic. So of course that's not gonna, if you don't know that, then you're not really gonna stick around. So I've only been under care for a couple of years, but I know how it makes me feel, like I said. And now I know the real, true reason how important chiropractic care is and the lifestyle, the whole package. So I'm stuck. I'm stuck with it. I'm in love. Not going
That's cool.
anywhere.
So you say that you enjoy the care. What excites you as a future caregiver? What excites you about making an impact in the chiropractic world?
Uh, the first thing that comes to mind is I want to be able to see a human being function really well. I want I want people to believe in themselves because we can do amazing things. But I want people need to know that they can, mentally, physically, emotionally. And there's just so much to our external environment and our internal environment, how we take care of ourselves, that really can contribute to enhancing our lifestyle, enhancing our mindset. And from there, it's like a domino effect. What could happen, how you're going to perform, how you're going to act, how you're going to treat people, where you maybe you're going to accomplish goals now. It's the whole feeling of just being healthy and knowing what you need to do. And I feel like with chiropractic, I want to express health and wellness and chiropractic and allow them to see a life that maybe they never knew about and feel something that maybe they never felt. And I want to see people excel because I really, truly believe that we can perform beautifully as a human species. So
Yeah,
I'm excited about that.
that's cool. One of the things I've really, like you've said it time after time during this interview, is the beautiful, the beautiful, the beautiful. And I played soccer for 22 years, and that was called the beautiful sport. And I've kind of rebranded chiropractic to be seen as the beautiful profession. And I think that what it does is it unlocks the beauty within somebody, which is the innate intelligence, which allows the body to heal naturally and to function optimally. And I think that what you're saying makes sense on a humanistic level, that if we start adjusted everybody, more people can unlock their real potential, and they don't deal with the sickness and disease that's rampant in our society or globally, for that matter. So becoming a natural healer, it just makes me really like excited about the future of chiropractic, knowing that you're going into this field. Now, next question. Where are you going? And is that something that you like to reveal to people watching today, or do you have a couple that you might be picking from?
Uh, there, I want to say this nicely. I've always been so about Life West, and I'm not against Life West or Sherman. I'm considering Sherman too. But honestly, I feel like I'm kind of dramatic in my life. I like to really put myself in situations that I don't know that I know that it's probably going to create a huge impact on me. And so I kind of want to take myself out of this beautiful state that I've always lived in and test myself. And so I would love actually to go to New Zealand.
Okay.
So it's for many reasons. And I heard really beautiful things about the school. It's very important for me to come out as a good adjuster as well. So I look into that to make sure that is something that I will get when I graduate. So right now, that's actually that's my number one focus
That's cool. That's
is
cool.
that school. Yeah.
That's
So,
cool.
hmm
Well, I had a chance to meet Phil McMaster, the president of New Zealand, last year at the Berkshires, and we sat and chatted for a bit. And really cool guy. And I know that what they're doing over there is, you know, that they are leading the pack in chiropractic education. So I think it's a good choice for you, especially, getting out of your comfort zone. Anytime that you make yourself a little uncomfortable, you grow through that, whether you like it or not. And when
hmm
you take yourself away from everything that you know and that is like common to you, and you put yourself somewhere new, you can't help but grow. I don't know. When I was in college, I went away and I studied abroad twice over in the Netherlands. And both those times were like massive learning experiences for me because I pushed myself out of my comfort zone. And, going to a foreign country, I mean, luckily they all speak English over there.
Oh, you're lucky. Yeah,
So
I'm hoping to leave with an accent. I'm not gonna lie, low key, I want to have an accent.
that's too funny.
Yeah, I'm excited. Yeah, I do. I would love to go there too, and it's also like testing myself. I feel like I vision myself as a certain type of chiropractor and a woman, and I feel like I really just want to throw myself in the middle of war within myself. War within myself. So I know that I'm gonna have good days and bad days, whether it's like academic days out in New Zealand or personal, whatever. But I want to. The only way I'm going to get through those days is how I cope with everything. So I really want to test myself. I really want to put myself in a situation where it's like sink or swim. And I know I'm going to swim, but I want to feel like a lot at me because I want to just be stronger. I just want to like do it. So.
That's cool. So that leads us progressively into our next question for you. And I just want to throw a shout out before we jump into the next round of questions, and you get your drink of coffee there. Dr. Dan Bay out in Chicago, close for Chiro. Those guys are heads and shoulders above the competition when it comes to creating successful chiropractors with systems on actually getting paid for what you guys do. So kudos to the Close for Chiro group out there. Dr. Christopher Coughlin, he's actually out in California. He says he got his first adjustment when he was 15 years old, and I think he's from Hawaii, so he always calls me chemo, which I love. I love it, like I love being called chemo. I think it's kind of nice that he calls me that. And, we have Brody Mullery coming in. Tuning in from Sydney today. So we have somebody over in Australia watching with us today, Brody. So that's pretty cool. But let's just tune back into the audience and talk to them and a little bit about where you see the profession going once you get into the profession, and that you'll be a chiropractor. And where do you see the profession in 10 years?
That's a good question.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like chiropractic is going to be it's definitely going to be more utilized, more wanted, more needed, I feel like, in the future, because I hate to assume, it's not really something I want to do, but I feel like with the rate that we're going in the sickness, like we said, sometimes it's too late and then people come see us, and I feel like we might just possibly be getting sicker in the future. So they're going to finally look towards us, and we're always been here, but yeah, of course we'll take care of you. So I feel like chiropractic is going to be massive in 10 years and forever. And we're just all now getting started as far as, and actually I don't know that coming in only 6 months new to chiropractic and saturating myself around Chiro Hustle, Chiro Sushi, CalJam. I feel that we're all getting on the same page. We're all wanting to re-highlight the philosophy and the principles and get together and then now spread the message. And I just see the message just getting bigger and bigger, and I can feel the passion through my phone on social media with people who are ready to express the message, or people who are already doing it and they're continuing to do it. I feel like with the rate that we're going, it might be a little slow, but we're between all of us around the world, and there's a lot of beautiful chiropractors and advocates out there. I feel like we're coming in like a tsunami. And in 10 years, I think we're definitely going to be the, the doctor that everyone's going to put first. I really do.
Yeah, I was, I'm privy to a lot of behind the scenes conversations in the chiropractic world. A lot of the leaders look to me as an alliance and an ally for like the message of getting it out there. So I was just talking to Dr. Leslie Hewitt, who is the president of the California Chiropractic Association. And she said one of her big talking points at CalJam will be about chiropractic helping with the opioid explosion in the world. And I think that once people realize that chiropractic is the answer for all health concerns, not just when people start falling into poor health, I think that that's really going to be the turning point for the profession. And back to what you said, I do think we're in a very, very hotbed of like the golden age of chiropractic information. I don't think that we've ever had the coverage that we've had before. 3 years ago, I've just seen more people sharing more information, becoming more integrated, more influential. And I've seen more teams come out. I've seen CalJam grow. I've seen Chiro Sushi. This is their second year. I've seen it grow. And I just think that we've seen so many people like joining arms with a positive message about chiropractic and really re-educating the population out there as to what it is and what it isn't and why it would make an impact on their lives. And I think that most people just, even the chiropractor, started losing the philosophy.
I wouldn't really know too much about like the history and everything as far as what you just said, but I feel I definitely have hope, or I definitely believe that we'll be okay, only because there's just so many great people out there that know it. And I feel like some people ask me, oh, will you come back to the States after New Zealand? And I'm like, I don't know. Wherever I'm needed, I'll go. And you know what? And if I can't take care of the US, I know that there's chiropractors out there that are going to take over that country. Let's all unite. Let's all, take your territory to, not like take your territory, but it's like, I'm putting my trust, where Schubel's at. I'm putting my trust, where so-and-so's at in that location, because together we're all working for the philosophy. We're all like trying to have that same message. And because that, once people understand the philosophy of chiropractic and really know that, I feel like everyone's going to want to see a chiropractor and just make it a lifestyle. So
Yeah, I was talking with Gregory Johnson down in Houston, and he said that he can't wait till the day that chiropractic becomes the port of entry doctor for people with any health concern. And then the chiropractor is the one that then delineates the referral out to other people when it's something that needs a little bit more, horsepower behind the how people get taken care of. And I was just talking to a guy I met the other night, and I was like, look, man, you should have two doctors in your life, one to keep you healthy, the chiropractor, and one to save you from dying.
I heard you say that with the finger.
Yeah.
I love it. I remember that. It's really fun still being young, because I go to parties, and, everybody wants to talk to everybody. And I can't tell you how many house parties I've been to out here in San Diego, and I will get on one and I'll be like, oh, I want to be a chiropractor. And people, like a lot of people at these house parties, they don't know, oh yeah, my back, we start getting on this topic, and then they want to know why, blah, blah, blah. And then I explain the philosophy. It's actually really fun to be in these weird environments and explain it. And the other day I had a bunch of people at a table, and I was telling them about, I was reading this in the Green Book, was the whole buzzard story about the tissue and everything, like what killed the horse. The buzzards didn't kill the horse, and the maggots didn't kill the horse. It is. So I started telling that story, and it was so cool to see people understand, like, whoa, I had no idea, that totally makes sense. Wow, like I want to see a car, but it's just so cool. I like absolutely love telling the story out here.
Well, the cool thing is I have Sid Williams on my shirt today. It's in tribute to Cal Jam next week. But
Yeah.
one of the things he's famous for is the saying, "There's nothing bigger than life," and that became a DE statement. Dynamic Essentials. He started that group down there in Atlanta. But there is nothing bigger than life, and there's nothing bigger than telling the story about life. And
Mm-hmm.
chiropractic is like that last key that people don't know that they need to turn to get better quality of life. And there is
Mm-hmm.
nothing bigger than life. And I think that anybody that realizes that they get a chance to talk to somebody that's educating themselves before they're actually being educated is something really cool about where you're going. And one of the reasons I wanted to bring you on because, like you said, I went to Cal Jam. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and you were basically brand new into chiropractic when you decided to go to Cal Jam. Tell us a little bit about that experience and why you want to go back.
So when I went to Cal Jam, again, I wasn't sure if I wanted to be a chiropractor. I was very shy about it. But this is what's so cool about these events, Chiro Sushi and Cal Jam, is that they try to get people to take the stage and share a great message, whether it's I want to teach you something or latest research. And so being so new to knowing the power of the body and going to Cal Jam, I saw last year, I saw Big Tree, Jim Chester. I saw you, Jim Chester. I saw James Chestnut last year, and I remember sitting there and I was like, oh my God, this information is blowing my mind. And the energy, with after the stories of how these chiropractors have felt after they've been working with a patient for a while, I just thought, God, this is so cool. This is so special. And what, like, again, I said this earlier, when you feel really good and you have a great environment and you actually make a change in your life, it's just amazing. It's amazing what you can do, the potential. And so I just thought when I went to Cal Jam, this is beyond what I've ever known. And I love events like that. And I'm going to go again next week. And I was telling you, it's my birthday next Saturday. It happens to land on my birthday. So that's going to be a little bit of a treat for me. And it's going to be Tristan's birthday the day before. So I'm very excited. I feel like even though I'm going there for, to learn chiropractic, I couldn't imagine actually spending my birthday with anywhere else than to be surrounded by people that I aspire to be like and be surrounded by knowledge that I need to know and I want to know. So I'm so excited to go back to CalGem next week.
Yeah, I think it'll be a lot of fun. Tristan's birthday, your birthday. It's going to be, hopefully, we get to go out for sushi.
Yes. I just went out last night for sushi. It was so good. Can't get enough of it.
So let's transition a little bit into Cairo Sushi and Cal Jam a little bit too. But why do you support what they're doing?
Cairo Sushi.
Yeah.
I remember I was following Chiro Sushi way before I went to the summit last year because the memes were so funny. And I just started following a bunch of chiropractic social media platforms, and I always followed Chiro Sushi. And then I got to go to the summit. I feel like Chiro Sushi has gotten better since the summit. And as far as the education that they're putting out and the resources and the connections within the Chiro Sushi family, so I've gotten so much more out of it post the summit. But I chose Chiro Sushi Summit because again, being so young and being so new in this profession, I have so much to learn. And I remember I just thought Chiro Sushi last year was about how to grow your practice. I know I'm not going to have a practice for a while, but there's no problem getting ahead of the curve and for me to take notes and meet people. So I remember I packed up my little car and I went to Vegas last year. And so nervous. I was so nervous. But what an incredible experience Chiro Sushi provided because it was in a small ballroom and you have amazing people in this ballroom. So it's a very intimate setting. I felt like by the end of the time that I had, I didn't want to leave. I created relationships. I had great conversations. I created confidence within myself and knowing that this is what I want to do. And Tristan was great. And then Grant Cardone, I knew about Grant Cardone before I went to Cairo Sushi. So I was like, celebrity shocked, like, oh my God, I love him so much. I can't believe he's going to be there. So it was just such a wild experience. But again, I left there, even though it was about growing your practice. It was a lot more than growing your practice. It was the latest research. It was just like so much information. I absolutely loved it. And I got a lot out of it, and for many different reasons. And the Cairo Sushi family is absolutely unbelievable. They're just unconditional support, unconditional information, just always going out there. I can't even keep up. But I love it, though. I love it because we need to help. We need to help, build each other up and build that confidence again, and put philosophy back on the pedestal, like where it should be. And we need to constantly be up to date with the research. So I feel like Cairo Sushi is a huge impact in my life. I actually rely on Chiro Sushi and everybody there to give me information, because I need to be a strong student, and so I can be a strong chiropractor.
That's
so
cool.
I absolutely love Chiro Sushi. I love it. Tristan did for all of us. And so.
You've made it to Chiro Hustle Live. Sit back and learn from the greatest influencers in the profession. This episode is brought to you by Clothes for Chiro, Chiro Sushi, Barbara Eaton's 56-day chiropractic boot camp, California Jam, Move Well University, the Black Diamond Club, Pure Chiro Notes, the Chiro Dex app, Dr. Alok Trivedi, Chiro Spark, Chirogram, Chiropractic Wealth Management, 8 Weeks to Wellness, Integrative Freedom, and Element Mattresses. Let's hustle.
Excited.
Yeah, I think that it's a really good thing to be a part of, and that's one of the reasons. From day one, Tristan called me up and he's like, "Hey, I want you to be a part of what we're doing." I go, "Well, what do you want me to do?" He goes, "I don't care. Do whatever you want to." He goes, "No one else hustles harder than you in the chiropractic profession, and I want you to be a part of what we're doing." So I felt like a real ambassador right away. And I mean, honestly, I was sending out email campaigns trying to get people to attend the first one. I was like interviewing all of like Ryan Bones and Dan Golden and Tim Schaub and Tristan, like early on before the Chiro Sushi thing popped. And I was like, dude, we just need to start, hammering the airwaves and getting people's attention in front of the camera, and doing more of these lives and introducing and telling our why are we doing this and who is it for, and like demystifying what sushi was, because I think a lot of times people just thought it was a bunch of memes. Like you said, I like the memes. And I think that was kind of the gateway into starting the conversation at a more grand scale. So kudos to Tristan for being like such a visionary in how he attacks the market and how he brings people together, whether it's him bringing you, him bringing in me, him bringing in Ryan Bones. I mean, Dan Golden and Tim Schaub, like the patriarchs of like Chiro Sushi. Like, I think that like our matriarch, I don't know the word, matriarch possibly, but like the leadership. I think that now he has like the samurais going, and there's so many samurais that are on this, that have been on this feed, that, that are part of that Chiro Sushi team, that are learning and teaching and bringing it together stronger. That's why, honestly, Jan, I tell people like the confusion, which you might not be aware of, but there was like a huge civil war in chiropractic for a few years, like many years. And I think the conversation is changing because we are becoming more unified. And we are becoming a stronger group of people, and we are becoming that much more. Our perspective is shifting. Our perspective is shifting from an idea that we don't get along to an idea that we are getting along better than ever.
Mm-hmm. That's good. That's good to hear. I feel like you would see it a little bit differently than I would, because you've been around this profession a lot longer than I have. But that's good to hear too.
I'm just a trench digger.
There's no problem with that.
I call myself a good soldier. But something else I wanted to circle back to is Sid Williams. I don't know if you knew this about me, but I did over 600 chiropractic screening events in 2.5 years, and I scheduled in over 2,500 people for their first visit. So I went out to the community, like toe to toe with society, 600 times over 2.5 years scheduling people in for their first visit to see a chiropractor.
Mm-hmm.
Not just making the film, not just content creating and interviewing people and running a podcast, but I was actually out there as a foot soldier for the profession, basically doing a community service, learning what people's concerns were, learning why they believed in chiropractic or they didn't believe in chiropractic. And one of the things I wanted to go back full circle to Sid Williams over here, right there on my shirt, was he said something that was profound upon me, and he used to do this upon his assemblies. Like he would have like an assembly a year or two or maybe three where he would get keys out of his pocket and he would shake the keys. Have you heard this story before?
I don't think so. No.
Okay. So you'll appreciate this, and our audience will probably appreciate it as well, especially if they went to life and they were like there during the Sid Williams time. But he would get keys out of his pocket and he would shake them and he'd drop them to the ground. And he would say, chiropractic is just like gravity. It works whether you believe it or not.
Oh yeah. Okay. I have heard. Okay. That's true. That's totally true.
So, belief systems are one thing, but knowing that what chiropractic is doing for people is a whole different topic. So it's a quick way to get you out of a conversation where somebody's discrediting chiropractic. And then if they're not interested in your offer of coming in, you give them a card, high five them, and you tell them, hey, I'll see you. Give us a call when you're ready. Yeah. And I think it's a real classy way to approach people and to let them know that they're entitled to their own belief systems. Mm-hmm. But chiropractic always works.
It does. It does. I feel like when I go again, because I live in San Diego and I'm pretty social, I've come across a lot of people and they're my age. They're in their 20s or they're in their early 30s. And so we are actually the generation, I feel like, that we don't appreciate, we don't invest in our health. Because I say this all the time, what we don't know until we know. So I never want to make anyone feel bad about what they don't know, but it is really difficult for me, still being in my 20s, to talk to people my age and get them to understand the power of the body and seeing a chiropractor. It's actually a really big challenge, but I have said this speech a million times at house parties or just conversations on the streets or the airplane. And a lot of chiropractors use this too, especially, it's kind of a blessing that I'm in the dental field because I'll talk about, the whole alignment with, braces and then retaining that alignment. How are we going to do that? And there's so many things that I talk about the car, I talk about being a plant. There's so many things that I will so aggressively share the similarities between whether I'm talking about ortho or your vehicle that we drive, we care so much about, but not our own, and plants, what you need to do for the plants, external, internal, environment, what you provide for that. I feel like I will share all three stories if I have to, just to get people to understand, oh my God, you make sense. And because it makes sense. That's it. It makes sense. So I don't care how we have to introduce it, how we have to explain it, but we need to try. And I'm not saying this I'm encouraging people to try, but what I've learned is, especially with my age group, it's really hard to get them to understand. And when they do, again, I hope that they will take advantage of that information. It's easy to say, yes, I understand, but to actually take action is really hard. And so I see this as a challenge. It's actually a really fun challenge for the people that so you were talking earlier, is where do you express your love for chiropractic? How do you get that message out? And I do it on social media from time to time. And it's hard, especially because all my followers are all my age, so they don't value their health yet. So it is a little tough, but I'm fine taking the challenge, because I know that it works. That's it.
So based on everything you're saying there, I'm just going to tie a couple nice bows on that. And one of the things is that the body needs nothing extra in it. It simply needs no interference. And the profession of chiropractic was founded on tone of the nervous system. Mm-hmm. And as it became longer and distributed throughout the world, it became more based on pain. And pain is based off of tone. And if you're out of tone with your nervous system, then it creates pain. And I think it's a very linear idea when we start thinking about it, from how chiropractic started as a basis of nervous system tone to a basis of nervous system pain to a symptomatology type selling system to now we're going full circle back to we want the nervous system to be back into the feeling of a proper tone and a homeostasis type approach, then to we're going to come in and save you after you've come to a chronic state. And
Mm-hmm.
I say chiropractic is good for getting people out of pain, but typically when people come in and they're expecting you to have that miracle first or second adjustment, they don't understand the real value of what it means, like you say, to your colleagues and your group of friends, that chiropractic, it's something that you should start as a system of health and not a system of crisis care.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that that's really where we have to start re-educating the message of chiropractic as a health providing wellness system. And
Mm-hmm.
it's good for getting people out of pain. But you know, Janet, when people are in pain, what are they? They're kind of a pain in the ass.
Mm-hmm.
So that puts even more stress on the practitioner to deliver that life-changing adjustment. And that
Yeah.
puts more stress on the chiropractic marketing and system to be able to find somebody that's in crisis mode and say, hey, okay, well, I'm going to do my best with you. But like Reggie Gold would say, you came in here after 40 years of destroying your body and not taking care of it, and you expect me to snap my fingers and adjust you and to change your life with one adjustment? Well, you should have thought about that before digging your hole so deep and getting into such a problem with your own health. Now you come here and you expect me to be a miracle worker.
No, I agree with what you say. And I read this quote. I don't even remember where I read this from. It said, "Do you want to function on purpose or on accident? You know, how do you want to function?" And then the other thing is too, I tell people is, you know, you can't go to the gym one time and expect results. You have to keep going, you know. And then why stop? I don't remember who said this too, but why, when you feel good, whether it's the gym or whatever, why stop? Why stop going? If you actually say, "Oh yeah, it made me feel really good," but I don't know why. Then okay, why do you stop? So I also express that too. You know, I just don't come in just for pain. You know, but once they get that message, it's I also like to express that it's like, you know, why would you stop something that makes you feel really good?
Yeah, and you know, Dr. Frank Vott says amen. I know that we hit some, we were crushing the points of chiropractic necessity and chiropractic philosophy, and we were taking some old school ideas and marrying them with the future. And I know that one of the questions I really wanted to get to before we ended our live stream today was, let's talk technology, let's talk millennial mindset. I know a lot of times like the smarter people out there that are like driving marketing, they're really interested in that sector, the millennial mind. They're also interested in where the future of chiropractic is going when it comes to the opiate epidemic in the world. So let's talk a little bit about, I know we touched a little bit on the opiate epidemic, but let's talk a little bit about what you like to do to stay engaged with your audience. What platforms do you like to engage with people on social media, and where do you see that going?
It's a good question. Uh, I do it all. I guess when it comes to sharing a message, I just put it on my Instagram or my Facebook. I do have a Twitter, and I don't really like Twitter, but the thing is, it's kind of funny how your message floats and goes wherever. Um, I don't know if that makes sense, but
No,
I
it
feel
does.
like you kind of see the most random tweets everywhere, and I feel like this message is good. I want everyone around the world to hear it. So I got a Twitter account. It's so funny. I don't even know how to really work it too much, but I do it on, those are the only three platforms actually that I do it on. And when I
Okay.
want to express a message. So that's not good enough, but that's in my life with, you know, my lifestyle. That's really all I need because I don't really have a practice or, you know, I don't, but I know that from what I've learned through books that I've read is like Grant Cardone, so like aggressive, right? So loud. He like tweets a million times a day and doesn't care, which is fine. I feel like if and when I had a practice, I would just download every piece of social media. Uh, I would want to get to know it all. how this platform works, because just get dirty with it. Saturate your message everywhere you can. I
Mm-hmm.
don't, and if that one social media platform didn't work out, then at least I put my information out there. Maybe it got to one person, but I know the most popular social media platforms. So that's always going to thrive. I think the ones that are thriving the most, I think, are Facebook and Instagram.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah.
I think that what you're saying is really cool. And I want to also share my spin on this whole thing about marketing and how I think that I'm the guy that will message and repost and post in multiple groups, and I'll friend request people, and I'll do anything that I want to until somebody slaps me on the hand, and then I'll high five them and say thank you, and then I'll see whether or not that's a good relationship for me on the platform. But
Yeah.
I think that, just like you said, Grant Cardone, go fast and furious and do it dirty, and push as much content as you can, because right now it's free. And
Mm-hmm.
right now, us doing this Facebook Live, actually, Luke and I, Chiro Hustle team, we are developing a social media ad storm. We're going to teach
Mm-hmm.
people how to take a live stream and how to boil it down and to repurpose it to 13 or 14 different platforms. And we're going to teach people how to start their own podcasts. And we're going to teach people how to do the nuts and bolts of creating media, becoming their own media company, and then what platforms are most effective and how to do that. So what you're saying is, hey, I don't know, I'm doing Facebook, I'm doing Instagram, and I just do Twitter. Well, we're teaching people how to do the social media ad storm and take one thing like this and then to make it go everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that that's what we all have to do is we have to start blanketing the whole landscape with chiropractic information. And we
Uh-huh.
all have to do that. Like, interviewing people is one way, but also people that do information things like what Nicole Colley and what Tristan do. They are niche specific on talking about, chiropractic technology. And I think that that's one of the things that people really need is they need to understand how effective they can be with these free platforms.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And what you don't know, you can't dismiss an action that's a marketing action if you've never tried it. And even if you want to try something new and it doesn't work out right away, doesn't mean it's not going to work out. So can you honestly say that you stay committed to trying something new, and it worked, for, X amount of time? A lot of people kind of give like meditation a small amount of time. Oh, it didn't work for me. Well, were you actually committed to it? Because if you stay committed, you might actually see results. So I think that's great, that you want to push, that people want to find a way to market themselves in many different ways. And I think that it's selfish for people if they are really great at something or they have a really great message to keep it to themselves. And I love that you want to share information with people to help grow themselves, whether it be chiropractic or whatever. Let's help each other out, and that's another reason with chiropractic. We want to help people get better, and I love that you're not being selfish and you're sharing awesome information to help people enhance their knowledge and their business and grow. So I think that's really cool. And I'm going to be one of those people who follow you because I need you. So I'll always be there. So I'm very happy for you. That's really great.
And see, I'm just going to throw this out there, which is really, really smart on my end. I got in and I learned how to communicate and to work within the chiropractic world. And we have two people listening right now, so they're going to get this really hot stuff. So I learned how to communicate with the chiropractic world. And then I learned that if I wanted to win the popular vote of the future chiropractic, then I needed to win the vote of the woman chiropractor, because I see the woman chiropractor as having a major influence in the future of chiropractic, whether it's on a world level, a political level, a state level, whatever level it might be. The woman chiropractor and the woman chiropractic's voice is going to be like very, very important in the future. So what I'm doing right now is winning the vote of the women. And now the other part of that is interviewing students and the future leaders. So right now, building alliances with you, Lisa Tacky, and all these other student chiropractors I'm going to be interviewing over the next 6 months or maybe the year. I don't know how long it's going to run, but I'm going to
Yeah,
do it. I'm going to do an interview a day cumulatively over this whole year.
that's
So,
good.
with that being said, Janet, what that does is builds me in with a whole sector of people that are going to be the decision makers of the future. So it's a really good play out of my hand to say, okay, if I'm going to be able to help elevate the consciousness of chiropractic in the world, then I want to be in alliance with these decision makers and future leaders around the world, and not only the old front, which I've become integrated into, but now the women front, and then the student front, and then the futures front. And I think that when we build these teams together, we are more. I mean, we're more successful. We have more people that are helping each other, like you said earlier. And most people, like you said, they don't understand the chiropractic message. And you have to make associations between car tires. You have to make associations between braces. You have to make associations between whatever. But one day it'll become natural for people to refer their friends and family to a chiropractor.
I think it's great too, as a almost student, is I appreciate constructive criticism. So I have this idea of where I want to go and who I want to be, and I'm learning the principles on my own. And it's hard. But the thing is, I really want to. I really would love feedback. So as you interview students, we are going to be talking a lot. So I think it's really important too. And this is a request from a student to be is, if there's anything that you have to help us students as we're on here talking, let us know. Let us know your feedback. Let us know if we're maybe saying it wrong, or if you have anything to contribute to one of our goals, or if we have a concern and you have something to contribute to a concern that we're stating. Please do, because we really do rely on, I rely on a lot of chiropractors out there, health advocates, to really help give me information to make me a stronger, again, student, and make me a stronger chiropractor. And I think it's great to get the voices of students out there, because we are also the future. So it's great. Interview also.
Yeah. So one of the things I'll go in closing with on you, and I'm going to say thank you to Alok Trivedi with Aligned Performance Institute for sponsoring this episode. And Dr. Alok is just an amazing supporter of the Chiro Hustle podcast. He's actually an episode on here. But honestly, Janet, the reason that people fall into the wrong paradigm of treatment for their poor health is, number one, they don't know where to go or who to trust. So chiropractic has to become known, and it has to become trusted. And it has to become more unity involved with the future of chiropractic in order for us to get to that point in 10 years where you see the chiropractic profession going. And I think that going full circle on our whole talk here, that the future needs stronger chiropractors with higher self-esteem that are more successful. So I think that, like you are a part of the Cal Jam group and the Chiro Sushi group, the more that people support those groups and become more integrated, they're going to have a better quality of life as a practitioner, because now they're going to have the success clues for becoming a better practitioner and a better business leader. And I think that you're doing the right things. And, I just appreciate you taking some time over your weekend to do a live stream with me for our audience on the Chiro Hustle podcast. This is actually going to be turned into a Chiro Hustle Live. So we're actually taking all of our interviews this year, and we're going to be repurposing them down and taking our interview and turn it into a live episode. So when that gets posted, I'll make sure you know about that.
Awesome. Thank you. Well, I'm very honored to be here and to have you. I really love spending my time either reading about chiropractic, talking about chiropractic. So this is a treat. Even if it's a weekend, I don't care. And it's a treat to be talking to you and to be sharing this information with everybody. So thank you for having me.
Well, cool. Hopefully you walked away with a little bit of knowledge you didn't know before.
Yeah, absolutely. I always do, I feel like.
Well, if you ever need help with any type of marketing or any type of introduction to anything, just use me as your trusted resource, and hopefully I can help you out.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And I'll see you where?
I'll be at Cal Jam Friday morning at 9 a.m. helping with Leslie Hewitt and her book sale up on the third floor, Little Miss Serotonin, and
All right.
it's a kid's book, and all the proceeds from Little Miss Serotonin are going to go back to support the California Chiropractic Association. So she's doing a big job to raise awareness and to get more funding for a good cause. And I don't know if you knew this, but I think California has the fifth largest world economy. So getting the popular vote of chiropractic in California is huge, and getting chiropractic more mainstream in California is going to be one of the most important plays for the political platform of chiropractic.
Awesome. I love it. Well, I'll see you on the third floor then, right?
Awesome. I'll see you at Cal Gym.
All right, cool.
All right.
Well, thanks for having me.
Have a good rest of your day.
You too.
All
Bye.
right, see you. Thank you for listening to Chiro Hustle Live. Don't forget to subscribe and check back next week to continue hustling.